Hello, my name is Anthony Keller, and I'm that deacon on YouTube. It's been a month since I've spoken to you last. I hope you're well and happy. So what I'd like to do this month is just catch you up on some of the things I've been doing. At the end of April, I participated in a retreat weekend, which is set aside for nominees for holy orders, because I serve on the Commission on Ministry for the Diocese of Los Angeles. Now, I know the term holy orders sounds somewhat strange, but it's pretty simple. Holy orders means this. Holy is the English word which means to be set apart. And orders mean that the people who are ordained to ministry are in an ordered relationship with their bishop. We meet for a retreat weekend where we get to know the nominees. We break into small groups and interview a certain amount of them, come back together as a committee where we prayerfully engage in discernment. We hope that the people come to us feel nurtured, cared for, and not standing in front of a board of inquisition. We know that these people are putting their lives on the line. They are exposing the deepest part of themselves before us, and I personally respect each and every person that walks through our doors. Early in May, I began a 3-month sabbatical. I never thought in my life I'd be in a position where I'd be able to take a sabbatical, but thanks to the generosity and the support of my rector and the people of St. George's, I will be stepping away from ministry for a few months, taking time for self-reflection, rest, and to work on a project that I began a long time ago. I have a background in music composition, and I began a large-scale work a long time ago that I never quite completed. So I'll be spending my sabbatical time working on this huge composition for choir, 4 soloists, 2 boys sopranos, and full symphony orchestra. It's a way for me to get my mind away from what I normally do and then work on something entirely different to rejuvenate my mental capacity and also step away from the regular ministry I do out in the world almost every day of the week. I'll also be having some fun. I hope to take a short trip up to Central California and just spend time resting and relaxing. In the early part of May, I attended our annual spring Clergy Conference. The theme of this conference was Why Marriage Matters. Our keynote address was given by theologian Rosemary Radford Ruther, an eminent scholar and a feminist theologian from the Roman Catholic Church. She gave a very interesting talk about the history of marriage and the church's involvement. If you're interested in watching and seeing the keynote address, I'm going to give a link which you can find in the box below. Clergy conferences are not always stuffy and so serious. We also get together as a group to share transitions, things that are going on in our life at this wonderful dinner. Well, you can see the people at my table. There's a smattering of people. There's a few deacons and priests sitting around. We had a great time. But you'll notice this guy, I think in the picture, he's standing up a little bit, leaning against 2 people in the center of the table. Ricardo is his name. He's a priest at St. Luke's, Long Beach. Well, he walked up to the microphone and decided to share a karaoke version of I Shall Survive. Of course, that took all of us by surprise, but very soon after, the entire room started to clap along with him. But it didn't stop there. Another person stood up from his table who's from South Africa and began to sing a South African folk song. We all clapped along. Then, later on, another group of people got in front of the microphone and sang "Lean on Me." Of course, the entire group knew parts of the song, and so a spontaneous harmony began to shoot throughout the room. We were all singing and clapping. People were taking little candles from their tables and holding them up as though it were a rock concert. It was a spontaneous gesture of fun, laughter, and community sing-along. It showed me that the collegiality and the mood of the Diocese of Los Angeles is in very good shape. And I must say it was one of the most memorable Clergy Conference dinners I've ever been to. So looking out my window from the hotel in San Pedro, California, where we had our conference, I could see the LA waterfront. And in the distance, I saw the Battleship Iowa. Well, I had a couple hours off, so I took my camera and I walked over to the Iowa to take their self-guided tour. Now, this battleship has a very long and distinguished history of service to the United States. One thing that struck me about the battleship, besides being a ship that carried Franklin Delano Roosevelt to some of his summit meetings with Churchill and Stalin during World War II, was the fact that the ship, through its long service, had been continually updated in its complement of weapons as a battleship. As much, and I mean this seriously because my father served in World War II, as much as I respect the people who served on that ship over its long history, the other thing that struck me was how much creativity and invention we put in as a race of people to kill one another. I must say that I was really torn from respect for the people who served on that ship and the people who engineered it, and our capacity as human beings to do the best we can to slaughter one another. And it made me think of the prophets of old who said, we must stop war. We must turn our swords into plowshares. And it really made me sad that we have spent far too long trying to annihilate one another when we should be trying to make our life a conduit for the flourishing of all people everywhere. That's all I have for you this month. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Who knows, I may be bringing my camera along with me when I take a few sabbatical trips here and there, and I'll share that with you next month. But until that time, God bless and be well. Bye-bye.